Okay, hi, it's Marty, and welcome to Rejuvenate Your Life. Today, I'm talking to my friend, Stephanie, and just to give you a little background, Stephanie and I have known each other, gosh, for 15 years, something like that,
Yeah,
way
long
back.
time.
And she contacted me about a year ago saying that her company was being bought out and she did not want to go on with the new company and was given an option to leave with a severance package, which she opted for. And because she wanted to have time, like a sabbatical, and be able to
Yeah,
spend time with her daughter, who, how old was Caroline?
she would have been 6 at
Yeah.
the time. Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
hmm
so Stephanie's been the primary wage earner and working the whole time. And so this was going to be an opportunity for her to spend time at home and experience the non-working life, which a lot of people now are thrust into that, not by choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to have the conversation with Stephanie. So now here we are, we're about, what, 10 months into this?
10 months. Yeah. Hmm.
So can you describe what it's been like for you? Like how, because you and I talked about how there were different stages that you went
Yeah.
through. Can you kind
Yeah.
of give a synopsis of what that was like, going from intense, high-powered position, decision-making role to
Yeah.
stay-at-home mom?
Yeah. And especially right with the commencement of summer, so I was sort of thrust into stay-at-home mom 24/7 right away. But,
Yeah.
um, the beginning was hard. Um, we had to kind of find our place. We had to find a new rhythm. We had such a routine at our house, from wake up to bedtime, that was all of a sudden out the window, totally out the window.
And
Not only because,
Steve works out of the house, out of the home
right,
too, right? Yeah.
right,
So then you got
yeah,
that to add into.
yes, yes. So not only am I, now a full-time stay-at-home mom, I'm a full-time stay-at-home wife with my family, you know, in close quarters. So, and I shouldn't say it was hard out of the gate. I am very grateful. I was in a much different position. And like you said, it was a choice and it was supported financially. And so I was in a much different position than a lot of folks are now. But, I think at first it was figuring out that new routine, figuring out that new rhythm and letting go of the old one.
What were some of the things you had to let go of?
That we would all be up, and have had breakfast and dressed by 8 o'clock. That didn't happen every day. And I didn't put on makeup. I didn't put on professional clothes. Yeah, it was small things that had built a sense of security and a sense of control. And those were gone. And so it was, it was strange. But it was summer and we just,
I'm
go ahead.
curious about the control factor, because I think a lot of people might be dealing with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was hard. I mean, I love control. I love it. It just brings, I love organization. I love plans. I love it all. And that all went out the window. And I think kind of what we've been talking about, and I think what I wish I would have realized sooner that I realize now, is to just surrender to it. Just surrender to that loss, surrender to the change, and embrace what you can. Enjoy, find things that you can enjoy. Who wouldn't love to sleep in on a Tuesday morning, have coffee out on the back deck? Why was I fighting against that? Why was I fighting against the fact that we weren't up and dressed with makeup on, So yeah.
What were some of the things that, and we talked about this the other day, but you've noticed about being around Caroline much more than you were when you were working?
Yeah, so one of the reasons I was really anxious to take time off with her was she is a great kid. She is a bright kid. She's very different from me, and I love that about her. But she's struggling really a lot in school, struggling with reading, struggling with math. And turns out we've gone through some professional testing. She is dyslexic. And so she thinks very differently. She sees things very differently. But having had this time with her, I have been able to observe firsthand what those struggles are, what those differences are. I haven't had to rely solely on a parent-teacher conference and a teacher trying to explain to me in their words. I was just sharing. I watch her struggle to sequence the ABCs. She has an amazing vocabulary, but she can't sequence the ABCs very well. So it's
Interesting that that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't
no,
been home and relaxed enough
right,
and not distracted by other things that you had to do, those
right,
autopilot activities.
right. Or if I'd forced us into a certain schedule or forced us into a certain routine. I think a mom said to me just the other day, I'm saying yes a lot more than I have instead of saying no. And I think that's what we all need to shift is just, can I draw the ABCs sitting on this bouncy ball, with this piece of chalk? Yes. That probably I wouldn't have said yes to that. And I think you just have to shift. You have to shift. And it's not easy. It's hard. And sometimes you have to remind yourself to do it multiple times a day. And sometimes you just can't do it at all. You're just like, I'm not giving that up. But yeah, it's been
Just let me control one thing.
yes.
Just one.
like loading the dishwasher. There is a certain way to load the dishwasher. I am not relenting on that. So I'm keeping it. But no, it's been and all of that observation of myself, of my marriage, of my interactions in the community. I mean, it's time. It's what it takes is being forced out of that normal routine.
Well, you also,
And
what I
then,
think too has occurred is you have had an opportunity to see yourself in a totally different, with a different focus or a different emphasis. When you
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
that career to define you,
yeah,
all of a sudden when
yes,
people say,
yes.
what do you do? And you say, nothing, you know?
You're looking at
Yeah,
it.
you really have
Yeah,
to,
the
it's
identity.
nervous.
Yeah,
So
yes, yes,
I think
yeah.
you had a
That
head
was hard.
start for a lot of people on being able to explore what it's like to not be defined by your career and redefining your role as a mother and a wife and as
Hmm.
a woman. Um,
Hmm.
and again, like you said, it was by choice. Um,
Hmm.
but if you have any words of advice for people who are watching this, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Um, kind of like I said before, just let go. Let go of what you think your day should be, of the expectations on yourself as a wage earner, as a parent, as a spouse, as a friend, as a daughter, as a whatever. Let those go. Let those go, and just embrace what this is. Embrace the time, embrace the lazy mornings or the late nights or whatever it might be. Surrender and trust. This isn't a defeat. I don't say surrender because we need to feel defeated or we need to give up. But surrender the timing of things, I guess, is what I would say.
Oh, that's
You
a good
know,
point.
it's not that you have to let go of your goal, but does it have to be done tomorrow? No. What if it's done 2 weeks from now? Big
And
darn deal.
what was it? And that ties into what Steve said to you the other day when you were concerned that now that you want to go back to work, everything shut down. And
Yeah.
so what was it that he said to you? Because that has to do with timing too. And I thought it was really brilliant.
He said, no meeting, no project, no job, basically, no amount of income, no amount of retirement or whatever it might be is as important to our family as what you're doing right now by sitting with Caroline, teaching her, just being with her. I've become her playmate, her teacher, her mom, whatever during this time. None of that is as important as what's happening right now within our family.
Yeah.
And that's true. I mean, that's totally true.
So one final question. So while you're being the mother, the mom, and the teacher, and I forget the other playmate, whatever else you
yeah.
what are you doing for you and your own centering and staying grounded in who you are during this turbulent time?
Yeah, that's a great question because that's hard, right? We can lose that, especially if you've just come out of the workplace and that was your identity and that's where you found your value and your worth. So I make a point and have even comes my routine again. One, I did set a routine for our family. And I still get up early. I still get up ahead of Caroline and Steve. I do morning devotions, sit there with a hot cup of coffee and my favorite mug and my colored pens. If I can, I sneak in a walk outdoors, especially now that we're stuck at home. And then we go into our routine. And when school is over, I'm out of that role. I take some time to just separate and check my Instagram or check my email or read a book or whatever. But I'm off duty now. That's you have to separate your duties with something other than a drive home, right? I mean, you have to find a way to do that separation and switch that off.
I hear like creating some boundaries.
Yes. Yeah. At 8 o'clock at night, I'm out. I go up, I take a bath, maybe a glass of wine, that's me. And it's kind of known. Do not bother me. But I think whatever, for Steve, he's not an early morning person. So his is after Caroline and I go to sleep. That's his thing, is that late at night, that wind down. You have to find it wherever you can. Yeah.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm really proud of you, of how you have made this choice and gone through lots of the transitions of it. So I know that your experiences will make a difference for other people because you've been through this part of it. So thanks.
Yeah.
We'll have another conversation again soon, I'm sure.
Okay. Bye.